This sucks. Just look at it.
No, no, no.
This is awful. The gradient prevents you from even telling the buildings apart. The boarded up windows are just... yeah, this needs more work. Luckily, I know a guy who is an expert in default pack building, so I asked to tour his world for help.
Alright everyone, welcome to New York.
Will RC57, otherwise known as Will, is a builder passionate about recreating pre-World War II New York City. He is known to some for his extreme attention to detail and technical prowess in default pack building. Many of the buildings he replicates are now gone, left only to photographs locked away in personal collections in university archives. A scarce few will make it to publicly available digital collections, and this is how Will recreates his New York. In this research-heavy process, Will also learns the building's histories.
So if we popped up back down in front of this domed building right here, this is the New York World, or the Pulitzer building.
Yes.
Joseph Pulitzer is, I believe, Hungarian. He moved here, fought in the Civil War, and opened newspapers around St. Louis, moved to New York, opened the world here.
I asked him about his techniques, and he began to break down part of what made his work so good.
One technique I picked up is that gradients completely transform a building, and you'll see that throughout the city. This mansard building right here is the press club, and you'll see on these tenements an interesting fire escape technique that I've picked up of using fence gates to emulate a more steep staircase.
So you're using dispensers for the cornice, or not dispensers, furnaces.
It gives that nice light bottom, dark top.
I saw this use of functional blocks throughout the city.
I try to make every view as detailed as I can.
You've got copper ore down here.
Lots of mixtures of different blocks. And you'll find around the city, I start to use more and more coral for detailing. And you'll see that on the building we go next to, that it is textured with coral blocks.
At this point, I had 4 major takeaways. 1. Use a large variety of blocks for your gradient. 2. Use functional blocks like furnaces, grinding wheels, or even smokers to give your build even more detail, particularly for cornices. 3. Don't be afraid to experiment with blocks like ores. And number 4. Use Java Edition. Do you ever wish you had a debug stick?
Perhaps. Yes. That would be very helpful.
When I got back to my map, I knew what I had to do. I started with this, a window with some equipment on the top of it. I thought about using a minecart, as it would stick out from the wall blocks, but still let them be seen. I had never seen this done before, so I wasn't sure if it would work. But it did. I think it came out pretty nice. Inspired by Will's use of copper ore, I swapped the white quartz bricks with the darker but correctly speckled lapis ore. This is just general detailing. Now on to this mess. Ugh. The first thing you will see me do is add a 4th window to each section of the building. What you see me working on now is the overall gradient of the building. I am darkening it to better match its actual looks, but also to provide that separation between itself and CC Cigar Co., the building to its left. Stop the footage. Looking at the building in post, I'm still unhappy with it. Before this video was even a file in DaVinci Resolve, I had an idea of what it would be. And you watched that, the first 41 seconds of it at least. Because it was at that moment, in post, that I decided the alleyway wasn't up to snuff. Particularly this building. 218 East 1st Street. This is normal for any creative type. You never like your own work. But something about 218 demanded to be reattempted right then and there. Normally, when seeking to improve a building, I refer to those who I find to be technically better than me for inspiration. Normally, I don't tour their worlds, but I had the idea to turn this process into a video, so I did. The rest, you watched it. I improved the alleyway in a lot of ways, and I picked up a couple new techniques too. But that building, 218 East 1st Street, it still sucks. Satisfaction. The moment in which your intention and your perception are eye to eye is elusive and brief. It is only a matter of time before your dissatisfaction overwhelms and dominates its humble presence. And sometimes, no matter what, you can never find that satisfaction. This ending script alone has been cringed at and rewritten more times than I care to count. It is simply a part of the process. To anyone expecting a video like the last one, it is coming.